Why is my PS4 turning on by itself?
That usually isn't a problem, since the unit not turning on or shutting off when you don't want it to is a bigger issue.
First, it turning on by itself suggests something is wrong.
Or you have a ghost in your PlayStation 4.
I'd be more concerned if it started messing with my stats, but I don't think that's the case unless that's your term for an electrical glitch.
Honestly, your stats can't get worse. And if you really don't want it to turn on its own, unplug it.
That's rather inconvenient.
So is getting a button panel replaced, though that might explain it.
You can't blame this on soda spilled on it. That only affects the handheld controller.
If the unit is turning on at random and ejecting disks, then the cause may be the rubber foot under the eject button altering their function. The solution on that is removing it or cutting it down to size.
I haven't seen it spitting out discs at me, though that would seem more scary than simply turning on.
Another cause of this problem is heat.
That usually causes the PlayStation 4 to turn off, not on.
If the unit gets hot enough to expand the buttons and short circuits, the unit could turn on.
The red light should come on if it were that hot.
You can test this idea with blowing the control panel with a hair dryer, though from a distance so you don't actually damage anything.
That sounds so weird.
So try cleaning the buttons with a screen wipe that is safe for electronics, in case something gooey stuck in and around the buttons isn't triggering it, and check for the same thing on the handheld controller buttons.
I've had to clean discs before of dirty smudge prints but didn't think that could affect the buttons.
You asked for solutions, and given how dirty the living room is, that's not an unlikely cause. Especially for consoles sitting on the floor or surrounded by dust.
I heard of this problem showing up in 2014 after some spring updates.
If the problem is a recent one, you're right that running updates again could fix it. Or if the update just ran, rebooting the console.
At least that time, I've planned on turning it off and back on.
You should also check to see if you enabled rest mode under the power settings, so that you aren't freaking out about it essentially shutting down to save power and turning back on when an air gust or glitch or button shift makes it think you're turning it on.
I think that setting is disabled.
Then if it might be a setting glitch, rebuilding the database is the fastest solution, while sending it in for service is the slowest one.
Service is necessary if it is a hardware problem. Rebuilding seems to take a long time, though.
It only takes a few minutes, depending on how much data you have. If you have an HDD to expand its memory, make sure that isn't interfering with the on-off button or that's the cause.